Alright guys, welcome back to Geometry 101. We're going to go over some more terms now. So first, and these are going to be some terms you've probably heard. First, we're just going to talk about a polygon, something that you guys have already heard of. A polygon is a closed two-dimensional figure that's made up of line segments. So basically it's got to have straight edges. So like if I want to have a polygon here, I could connect line segment CD, DA, AB, and BC like this. And what I mean by closed is that if I start in the middle and I cannot pass through any of these lines, then I can't escape. There's no openings here. So that's what it means by closed. So it's a closed 2D figure made up of straight lines on the edges. All right, so this is a polygon. Now that we've talked about that, we can talk about a vertex. So I mentioned last episode, I guess, that a vertex is another way to call a point, but it's a special kind of point. A vertex is a point where two or more lines meet. So now all of these points right here, C, B, A, and D, all of them, have two lines that connect at that point. So these are all vertices, which is just the plural of vertex. Just like the plural of duck is ducks, the plural of vertex is vertices. So these are all vertices. And then all polygons can be named by their vertices. So we would just call this polygon A, B, C, D. And that's how we would name it. Now, real quick, I want to talk about triangles. So like if I connected these three lines right here, BC, CA, and AB, then I could refer to that as well as a polygon. And I would put, this is triangle specifically, triangle ABC. I just wanted to put this one in here because sometimes you'll see on the test that this little symbol appears before a triangle, and that's not anything special. It just means that this particular polygon happens to be a triangle. So that's all that means. Nothing special there. Now, angles. This is what we're going to be talking about a little bit later, but we need to know it now as well. Angles are the space between two intersecting lines or surfaces at the point where they meet, all right? So let's say I have 3 points like this, B, Y, E. And I start at Y and create two rays. I create ray YB and ray YE. And I want to know how much space there is right here. Well, as you guys know, there are 360 degrees total in a circle. So I'm just trying to figure out how much of a circle would be here if I were to draw that, right? So that's called an angle, this angle right here. So first let's talk about naming angles. We can now name this angle BYE, all right? And you guys can see that how this would work. Even if I didn't have these lines here, BYE can still be seen. But it only can be seen if I include Y as the middle letter, right? If I call this something else, like YEB, that's not the same angle, because now I'm talking that E is the vertex. And you guys can see here that if I call this angle BYE, Y is the only vertex, because Y is the only one that has two lines meeting at it, which is the qualification for a vertex. So you can't just say 3 letters, B-Y-E or E-B-Y or anything like that. You have to include Y as the middle letter because that's the vertex. So that's a very key point about naming angles, is the vertex that you're talking about has to be in the middle. The 2 points need to be on either side. So you could name this E-Y-B if you wanted to, but we're going to go with B-Y-E because that makes a word and that's just more fun. All right, now, since there's only one possible angle that I could talk about with these two rays here, I could also just refer to this as angle Y. And you'll see in a second what I mean by since it's the only possible angle, but let's move on for a second. So how do we measure angles? All right, we want to know how much of a circle would fit in here. Out of the 360 degrees of a possible circle that was around Y, how much of it would fit right there? Well, we use this tool called a protractor for that. All right, and the protractor measures 100 up to 180 degrees. And you guys can see it starts at 0 on both sides. One's here and one's here. Starts at 0. And then it just counts up from there 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and these little tick marks on the edge actually go one by one. So we're going to try and do this. Now, when you use a protractor, you do have to take this thick black line at the bottom and you have to align it with one of your lines of your angle. All right, so we're going to do this and shift it like this so that it aligns with this one. And then it also has to have the vertex in the middle. All right, and now I can measure our angle. So since we started with this line right here aligning with this 0, we're going to start at this 0 and then just go up until we hit our line. So this is 0, 10, 20, 30, and then it's a little bit past 30. So now we can go over here and say, well, that's this right here is 30, and that's 31, and that's 32, and that's where it hits. So we're going to say that this angle is 32 degrees. And that's how you measure angles. 32 degrees we would usually consider as a small angle or an acute angle. So that's how you measure angles. Now, let's talk about what I just said about angle y. All right, right now, angle y and angle BYE are the same thing. You can, as long as if I just said angle y, there's only one angle we can talk about here, and that's this one. All right, but what if I added another point, and I said, or another ray, I guess. If I said ray YL also touches y. All right, so now this vertex y has 3 lines that meet at it. Well, now I can't use vertex y. I can't use angle y because angle y could refer to this angle right here, or this angle right here. All right, either one. So you can't be ambiguous in math. All right, math is usually about communication anyway. So if you just say angle y, then I'm just going to be sitting here wondering which one you're talking about. Are you talking about this one or this one? So now you have to specify using all 3 letters. So I could say, okay, I'm going to talk about angle BYE again, which is the first one that we talked about. Or I could also specify that I want to talk about angle BYL, all right, which is the other angle. All right, but I can't just use angle y anymore because that one is not referring to any specific angle, and I can't tell which one you're talking about if you say angle y because more than one angle uses angle y as its vertex.